Python is really powerful. It's a very powerful programming language and environment and everything. And one thing that does pretty well is math. So there's a lot of math that you can do in Python. I usually use the average, taking the average of a bunch of numbers, kind of as a placeholder for all sorts of data analytics analysis that you might need to do with actual number data sets, things like that. So this is when you think, why is he doing the average? Just remember that it's a placeholder for whatever type of calculation that you are going to be faced with when programming in Python. There are a lot of ways to do things in Python too, and so it's very flexible that way. So I'm going to sort of scroll through, but very quickly I'm going to get to the end where it's a very, very easy way to take the average of numbers using Python. I'm just trying to teach a little bit of the syntax of Python here, acknowledging that there are a lot of different ways to do it. Okay, first thing I got to do is I go down to the search bar, I type CMD, the command prompt is there, I click on it, and then I'm going to get into my Python code directory. I go CD OneDrive, CD Desktop, then CD Python code. Okay. Now I'm going to use that make project script that I wrote to batch file that I wrote to make a new project. So I'm going to say make project avg1, avg1. And lo and behold, it gets me into avg1 folder. And if I go into the file manager and I look, there it is. There's avg1.py. I double click on it. Oh, and it should come up in Notepad++. If you did your Hello World program right, it should come up in Notepad++. If not, say open with. Okay. All right, so Notepad++ comes up. It's just the empty print. It's just the Hello World program. So I erase that print statement, and then I just type out the following program, the following script. I have three variables, A, B, and C. I set A equal to 3, B equal to 5, C equal to 8. I set them equal to 3.0, 5.0, and 8.0, but you don't have to you don't have to in Python because when you do the divides thing, it turns it into a floating point number, so it's going to give you fractions there. It's just sort of a relic of my other programming skills there. Good. So. And the other thing you don't have to do, if you're familiar with C, for example, is you don't have to declare A, B, and C as some kind of variable. It'll know what type of variable it is. And so it's much more flexible than an old programming language like C in that regard. Simpler to use, but a little less constrained too. So then I just I define set the value of each of them. The average is just the sum, A plus B plus C, in parentheses, all divided by 3. And then I print it out. So I'm print out the average is, comma, avg1. That's one of the ways to write print statement. We're going to do a couple other examples of how to write a print statement. But that's just prints the output to the screen. That's it. So you have that, write that up in your avg1.py file. Make sure you save it, Control S to save it so that the little asterisk goes away. Then go back into the command prompt and type out python3 space avg1.py. And up will come the average of 3, 5, and 8, 5.3335 5 1/3. It worked. That's it. That's your first average program. We're going to do a couple more before we get to the simplest way to do this.